Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 9 of Personal Development Training Series. My name is Mohammad Reza Fathi, and I'm a life coach. What we do in life echoes in eternity. I guarantee you that your life is going to be separated to before and after following personal development training. This episode is about why. Why is a part of our inner world, and our inner world is a branch of self awareness. Please watch previous episodes. In this video, we're going to discuss what is why, how important it is, and how does it impact our life. One day when you wake up, you dress up, you want to go to work, and you ask yourself, why am I working? Why this job? Do I even like this job? Is this the job that I'm born for? Do they even care about me? Do I have a strong reason for working? If you ask yourself such questions, I can tell you, you have a high degree of self awareness. Being aware and asking such questions from ourselves is the beginning of spiritual awakening and personal development. When we go to work, our reason is mainly money, or being busy, or just escaping from other people's judgment, or just running from poverty. When we go out with friends, it could be running from loneliness, it could be having a good time, or it could be creating something new. Or when we go to shopping, do we necessarily need that thing we're going to buy? It goes, we buy things we don't need in order to impress people we don't love. We go shopping because we are escaping from who we are. We don't necessarily need that thing. We just go shopping because we don't know why. I'm going to ask you a very strange question. Why do you go to work? Well, initially people say money. Yes, life needs money. But why do you need money? Why do you want money? In order to survive? In order to manage life? In order to just live another day? Why do you want to live another day? Why are you living anyway? And the strange question is, do most people have a strong why for living? Majority of the people don't even think about this question on a day-to-day basis. Why is the reason and drive behind our action and thoughts. There is something inside us that asks this question, so what? So what? What is the result? Why am I moving this object? Why am I going out? Why am I scrolling in social media? Why am I here? So what? Why? These questions won't stop. The only thing you can do is to feed them with good answers. Now, let's talk about how important why is. Nietzsche says, he who has a strong why can almost bear any how. If you don't have a strong why, you simply won't continue so far. Why would you go? Why would you struggle? Why would you finish? Because the moment you started, you didn't have a strong why. You see, there are relationships, there are learning skills, there are courses we take, there are jobs. How many of you have switched fields? How many of you have wasted your times? How many of you have wasted your life switching from this field to that field? And there are such videos in YouTube and other platforms that say, it's your right to make mistakes. You are young. You were experiencing. You can't learn anyhow but trial and error. Guys, this is a mistake. If someone tells you, I'm just running your work based on trial and error and I don't intend to finish it, what would you think about him? You have to know where you're going. Even if you don't know, just ask somebody. Just try to find out. Just don't start. When you don't have a strong why, not starting is called being wise because our wisdom is directly related to our reactions to our inner world and our external world. Imagine everything you start, you don't finish. How does that life look like? This is how important why is. And example number two, if you don't have a strong why, you won't go through hardships. You see, life has a tendency to crush humans. Life is necessarily hard. Nobody's life is easy. Nobody. Life is hard for everybody. Our parents die. We got to build a brand. We got to build our body. We got to manage our time. We have different priorities. We need to work as well as attending to our family. This is called hardship. And if you don't have a strong why, you cannot bear them and you will simply give up. When was the last time you talked to yourself and say, I'm going to crush life hardships? Why don't you say that? Because you don't have a strong why. So if you don't have a reason behind your actions and thoughts and life in general, you don't have anything. Your life doesn't have a foundation. So now that you have a glimpse of how important why is, let's talk about how we find our why and how we improve it. For the beginning, we have a default why. Life itself pushes us forward. You feel lonely, you talk to somebody, you get into relationship. Now you've been with somebody, now you have to continue. Maybe you get married. Now you got married, you have to get children, and life pushes you forward. You need to work because you have financial problems, you need to eat, you need to survive. So, life provides us with a default why, just like a beginning. They give you a beginning, but you have to work on it and you have to make it improved, upgraded, and beautiful. So, how do we upgrade it? How do we find our true why? The answer is self knowledge. You gotta know yourself. Some people care about money. It's okay, no big deal. Some people care about their parents. They want to protect their parents, their mom and dad. They want them to be free and healthy and emotionally secure. While other people care about their children and their future. Every person has a unique why. No why is better or worse than the other. So, during the day, you need to take note of your thoughts. What do you care about? What gives you suffering? What gives you joy? What is the problem that you need to avoid? Is it your parent? Is it your life being wasted? Is it being judged by other people? I'm not talking about which why is better than the other one, but you gotta know deep down in your inner world what why exists. So you have to dig in and find it. This is how you find your why: self knowledge, self awareness, and self discovery. You have an inner world. Your why is there. You have to look at it instead of thinking about things that don't matter. Just ask yourself, why? Why do I exist? Why do I go to job? Why do I go to work? Why do I want to be with this person? And etc. Let's analyze an example. Somebody calls you a cold call. They want to sell you something. You pick up the phone and that person is, I'm calling from this company, X company. I want to talk to you about this car. What do you think about that person? Are you listening? Do you want to buy? Probably not. Why? Because you know that person doesn't care about you. He doesn't even know if you need that product. He doesn't even know you. He's going to work to get money. His why is not providing service for you. All he cares about is the sales, is himself. So, there's something wrong, right? When somebody cares about himself and tries to advance his own cause, you don't care about him. Now, let's reverse engineer this. You want popularity, you want sales, you want income, but you don't know how. This time, put your why on other people. Okay, call somebody. I don't care about the money. I don't care about the sales company. I just want you to improve your life. Next time you want to talk to your wife, you want to talk to your children, instead of thinking, I want this to happen, you know they won't listen. Now you know from the salespeople example that if you put your why on yourself, nobody will listen. Next time, if you want people to listen to you, instead of raising your voice, do this because I say so. No, just calm your voice and think for a moment. Deep concentration. Select your why and let it guide your energy, guide your tone, lead your words. Talk because of that person. Order not to lead, but to improve other people's lives. Now people will follow. Now you can become popular. Now you can increase your sales. I have a quote that I say, he who builds the foundation of his deeds on anything but improvement of the world is like somebody who builds his house on water. What is your why? Why do you go to work? Why do you talk to your wife? Why do you want to get married? Why do you want to have children? If you put that why on improvement of the world, you will see how your life changes. As I told you, your life is going to be separated to before and after following personal development training. Next time when you wake up, anything you do, ask yourself why and put that why on improvement of the world and see how that changes your life. Marcus Aurelius says, what injures the hive injures the bee. If you say, I'm going to pick this person to improve the world, yeah, you want to get married, but you pick that person in order for you to be able to improve the world. So when you want to pick somebody for your relationship, but you have a long term perspective, you want to improve the world, you can't just pick somebody based on appearance, based on money. Now you need somebody to actually care for you. You need that person to be able to work with you, to be compatible with you. Now, whose interest is this? When someone is compatible with you and works with you and cares about you. You see, when you put your why on improvement of the world, it's also for your own benefit. You want more money, you want promotion. Okay, put your why on improvement of the world. Don't care about your boss being satisfied getting the paycheck. You want to improve the world. Keep going, keep going. When does the improvement of the world stop? Never. Keep going. Now, you are noticed. Next time they want to promote somebody, they have noticed your actions, your efforts, and they promote you. Of course, it is to your benefit to choose your why based on your mission. Now, I'm going to give you some strong examples that you need to think about in order for you to improve your life. Number one, self imposed hardship. Why should we think about it? Because life is hard and we got to prepare ourselves. If we don't have a strong why, we won't tolerate hardship, we will get stuck in our comfort zone, and we will never get strong enough to defeat life challenges and succeed in personal life. It goes, a time will come when you have to defend everything you cherished. In that moment, you wish you had prepared for the worst. You got to prepare yourself to defend people you love. So, you need to know, why do you want to go through hardship? Is it for you? Is it for your children, for your society, for your community, for your parents? Seneca says, no one is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity because he never had the chance to prove himself. Imagine you have a life, you were given a very, very extraordinary chance called life. Your life passes, you never reach to your peak potential. and you just live because you had to. You had to work, you did something, your life passed, nothing special happened. And at the end of your life, you look back and you say, why was I alive? What did I do with my life? That moment, that regret is not the price you are willing to pay. Believe me. Number two is about getting rich and money. Most people feel embarrassed about talking about money. Most people don't have a strong why to go to work, getting rich and securing financial freedom and such things. For them, I have a quote. It goes, chasing wealth is not greed. Chasing wealth is chasing life. You see, you need money for health. You need money for security. You need financial freedom to be able to do things you actually love. So you are not chasing money, you are chasing the chance to have the ability to do the things you care about, you actually enjoy. Mark Twain says, poverty is the root of all evil. If you can't protect your parents, number one reason is money. If you can't be with your family, number one reason is money. So you got to think about these reasons because your mind doesn't want to show you. Your mind basically works on survival. It never shows you strong whys. It is you that you have to deliberately work on your whys and remind yourself. And the best way to remind yourself is to keep a journal. Write down your whys and the list of reasons that you live. Number three is marriage. Most people get married because they were in a relationship. And they were in a relationship because they got to know somebody. And why they got familiar with this person? Because in this app, in that party, in that college, they just saw each other and they felt like it's okay, let's be together. Is this why strong enough? Probably not. They get into marriage, hardships come up, and they cannot confront it because they don't have a strong why. You see, so many couples have issues together, right? Do they have a strong why for marriage? Guess not. That's why they cannot bear each other. But if you have followed self knowledge, if you know yourself, you say, I strongly want kids. I want to raise them. I want to have kids. I want to make them successful. Now, having a spouse is justified for you. Now, going through hardship and maintaining a healthy relationship with that person is justified for you because you know why. Imagine someone wants to marry you. Imagine somebody wants to get to know your sister and they don't have a strong why. How would you feel? Guys, this is life. This is how life is supposed to be lived. This is not something philosophical you hear about and you go out there and you live your life based on your own rules. This is how your life is supposed to be lived. But they didn't teach us in schools. In episode number 0, I told you that if everybody follow personal development, a world will be a better place. Imagine a world where everyone know themselves, has a strong why, they develop a plan, they got into self-awareness, and they follow personal development. Just imagine. This is why I call it a roadmap to heaven. And the last subject that I need you to think about is life itself. Why do you live? Why are you breathing? Why do you wake up? Why? Do you have a why for your life in general? If you don't have a why for your life, how are you expecting to be happy? How are you expecting yourself to go through hardships and be successful? You see, when you read about success in these like so-called books, what do they talk about? Time management or such things? Do you even have a why for your own life? Picasso says the meaning of life is to find your gift. And the purpose of life is to give it away. So I need you to think about the subjects and discover your why. How? Know yourself. Find what gives you suffering and joy. Repeat it with yourself every day. What we do in life echoes in eternity.